For Zion's sake, Yahweh has promised the Jewish people earthly wealth. According to Investopedia.com, the Jewish Rothschild family is the richest family in the world. Of the top 10 wealthiest families in the world, 6 are Jewish. The Jewish people account for less than 0.2% of the world's population, but among the world's 1,426 billionaires, 165, or 11.6% of them, are Jews. According to Forbes Israel, their joint wealth has reached $812 billion. Out of the 50 richest people in the world, 25% are Jewish.
Beware lest you say in your heart,
My power and the might of my hand have gotten me this wealth.
You shall remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you power to get wealth, that He may confirm His covenant that He swore to your fathers, as it is this day. You shall remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you power to get wealth, that He may confirm His covenant that He swore to your fathers, as it is this day.
For Zion's sake, Yahweh has promised the Jewish people earthly wealth. Jesus has not promised Christians earthly wealth but heavenly treasures. The Jews whom Moses spoke to are mostly physical Jews, with an uncircumcised heart.
And Moses summoned all Israel and said to them,
You have seen all that the Lord did before your eyes in the land of Egypt, to Pharaoh and to all his servants and to all his land, the great trials that your eyes saw, the signs and those great wonders. But to this day the Lord has not given you a heart to understand, or eyes to see, or ears to hear. But to this day the Lord has not given you a heart to understand, or eyes to see, or ears to hear.
Private U.S. donors have funneled more than $220 million to Jewish communities in Jesus, Judea and Samaria between 2009 and 2013 alone. This is a fulfillment of Isaiah 23 and a preview of Isaiah 60 and 61, that the wealth of the nations shall come to Zion.
At the end of 70 years the Lord will visit Tyre, and she will return to her wages and will prostitute herself with all the kingdoms of the world on the face of the earth. Her merchandise and her wages will be holy to the Lord. It will not be stored or hoarded, but her merchandise will supply abundant food and fine clothing for those who dwell before the Lord.
Tyre's prostitution gain was used to provide for God's Zionists after the Babylonian captivity of 70 years. The wealth of the nations goes to Israel, just as Isaiah prophesied.
Then you shall see and be radiant. Your heart shall thrill and exult, because the abundance of the sea shall be turned to you. The wealth of the nations shall come to you. A multitude of camels shall cover you. The young camels of Midian and Ephah, all those from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and frankincense, and shall bring good news, the praises of the Lord. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered to you. The rams of Nebaioth shall minister to you. They shall come up with acceptance on my altar, and I will beautify my beautiful house. Who are these that fly like a cloud and like doves to their windows? For the coastlands shall hope for me, the ships of Tarshish first, to bring your children from afar, their silver and gold with them, for the name of the Lord your God, and for the Holy One of Israel, because he has made you beautiful. Foreigners shall build up your walls, and their kings shall minister to you. For in my wrath I struck you, but in my favor I have had mercy on you. Your gates shall be open continually, day and night they shall not be shut, that people may bring to you the wealth of the nations, with their kings led in procession. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve you shall perish. Those nations shall be utterly laid waste.
The Rothschilds are today's Cyruses. Cyrus the Great was a Babylonian Marduk cultist, but Yahweh has anointed him to rebuild Jerusalem and the temple of God. Marduk was the Babylonian king of the gods. His temple is the White Temple on the ziggurat, connecting heaven and earth. The Greeks associated him with Zeus and the Romans with Jupiter. He is depicted as a human in royal robes, carrying a dragon and a spade. The Rothschilds and Cyrus have many things in common. Cyrus issued the proclamation of Cyrus to rebuild Israel.
In the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, so that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and also put it in writing.
Thus says Cyrus, king of Persia, The Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he has charged me to build him a house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Whoever is among you of all his people, may his God be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and rebuild the house of the Lord, the God of Israel. He is the God who is in Jerusalem. And let each survivor in whatever place he sojourns be assisted by the men of his place with silver and gold, with goods and with beasts, besides freewill offerings for the house of God that is in Jerusalem.
The Rothschilds obtained the Balfour Declaration to rebuild Israel.
The Foreign Office, November the 2nd, 1917. Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet.
Both of them funded the rebuilding of Israel. Cyrus was a Marduk cultist. The Rothschilds are Talmudic Jews. Cyrus was a complete Gentile, uncircumcised both in flesh and in heart. The Rothschilds are outward Jews, circumcised in flesh but not in heart. Cyrus was Yahweh's anointed, so were the Rothschilds. To rebuild Israel, the fallen tent of David, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel.
And I will shake all nations, so that the treasures of all nations shall come in. And I will fill this house with glory, says the Lord of hosts. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, declares the Lord of hosts. The latter glory of this house shall be greater than the former, says the Lord of hosts. And in this place I will give peace, declares the Lord of hosts.
Yahweh employs the treasures of all nations to build his temple, because his temple is the house of prayer for all peoples. The second temple, which housed the Son of God, was funded by many demon worshippers, including two Iranians, Cyrus the Great and Darius the Great, one Edomite, Herod the Great, who sought to kill the infant Christ. In the same manner, the third temple of God will be built with the treasures of all nations. One last word. Many self-proclaimed Christians blame bankers for all their problems. But Jesus does not hate bankers. Jesus does not hate bankers.
You knew that I was a severe man, taking what I did not deposit, and reaping what I did not sow. Why then did you not put my money in the bank, and at my coming I might have collected it with interest? Why then did you not put my money in the bank, and at my coming I might have collected it with interest?